been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Yes.
The Duke of York generating a new wave of questions in what has become a sea of speculation surrounding his ties to Epstein.
What happens when a woman with nothing left to lose holds every secret the palace has tried to bury? Sarah Ferguson is negotiating with American television networks, not for charity, not for publicity, for a six-figure, career-defining tell-all interview about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. The offers are on the table. The palace is quietly panicking. And the one person who lived beside Andrew through his darkest years is now deciding whether to speak. Because behind the palace walls, nothing was ever what it seemed. Do you think the palace knew this long before the public did?
Prince Andrew denied he ever saw his former friend with underage girls in a pointed and detailed interview with the BBC.
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
For decades, Sarah Ferguson played by royal rules. She married Andrew. She divorced Andrew. She stayed silent when it mattered most. Even after the Epstein scandal destroyed his reputation, she remained loyal, living quietly at Royal Lodge, dependent on his money, his home, his protection. The public assumed she knew nothing. The palace assured everyone she was irrelevant. But now everything has shifted. Andrew has been stripped of his titles. Royal Lodge is being taken away. Her income has evaporated. Her books have been pulled from shelves, and multiple American networks are offering her a fortune for one single interview. Not a book tour, not a media appearance. One broadcast, one chance to tell her side of the story. And Buckingham Palace cannot stop her.
Unbecoming. He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, and in the sense that he was a sex offender.
Queen Elizabeth's son, who is 8th in line to the throne, was specifically asked about his 2010 visit to Epstein's Manhattan mansion.
The first thing you need to understand is why American broadcasters are willing to pay six figures for this interview. Because Sarah Ferguson is the only person who lived inside the royal bubble during the exact years Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was most active. She was there when Andrew visited Epstein's private island. She was there when Andrew stayed at the Manhattan mansion. She was there when Epstein sent money to help cover her debts. And she called him a supreme friend. But this was only the first crack in the foundation. Do you think this was deliberate or a disturbing coincidence? Because palace insiders now believe Sarah may reveal conversations, timelines, and contradictions that Andrew has spent years trying to erase. But the truth that followed changed everything.
Always a pleasure to chat to you.
As I said, you've been pretty strong in what you've said in the past, that you think it's a very serious possibility that as more and more revelations come out about Prince Andrew.
Here's what the palace fears most. Sarah Ferguson has nothing left to lose. She was financially dependent on Andrew for decades. She stayed at Royal Lodge because she couldn't afford to leave. She maintained a lifestyle she never earned, because Andrew's royal position allowed it. But now Andrew has been stripped of his prince status. Royal Lodge is being taken away by January. Her speaking engagements have dried up. Her reputation is in ruins. And here's the part Buckingham Palace never acknowledged. When someone who once had everything suddenly loses it all, they become dangerous. Not out of malice, but out of survival. Sources say Sarah is deeply aggrieved by how she and Andrew have been treated throughout the fallout. She believes she was punished simply for being associated with him. She believes the public has judged her unfairly, and she believes this interview is her only chance to rebuild her reputation. Do you think the palace calculated this risk, or did they underestimate her? But the silence that followed was even more unsettling.
After the financier pleaded guilty to soliciting minors for prostitution.
Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted...
Now consider the timing. This interview offer arrives at the exact moment Andrew is under scrutiny from the United States Congress. He was accused of hiding after refusing to respond to a request to testify about his ties to Epstein. The House Oversight Committee gave him until November 20th to reply. He did not respond. American prosecutors have been trying to question him for years. Victims' lawyers have demanded he cooperate, and he has refused every single time. Now imagine Sarah Ferguson sitting down with an American broadcaster at this exact moment. Imagine her being asked why Andrew won't cooperate. Imagine her being confronted with questions about his denials, his alibis, his settlement with Virginia Giuffre. Imagine her being pressed on whether she believes the Pizza Express story, or the claim that he doesn't sweat. And here's the part Buckingham Palace never acknowledged. If Sarah speaks now while Congress is investigating Andrew, her words carry legal implications. Not just reputational damage, legal consequences. Do you think this timing is accidental or strategic? But the answer the palace gave was silence.
It was inappropriate for us to be seen together.
Despite ending their friendship, Prince Andrew admitted he stayed with Epstein for 4 days.
We're staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
Palace insiders say Andrew is deeply uncomfortable with this interview. In fact, new reports claim he has recently demanded that Sarah stay away from him, even though they still share Royal Lodge, even though they once lived as a united front. The atmosphere inside that 30-room mansion is now described as tense, fractured, and cold. Andrew reportedly wants space, privacy, and distance as he tries to manage the fallout from Congress, the loss of his titles, and the humiliation of being forced out of his home. He does not want Sarah Ferguson walking into a television studio and placing more pressure on him, because a tell-all does not help him. It only pulls every scandal back into the public eye. But this was only the surface. Do you think Andrew is afraid of what she might say, or what she already knows? Because the real fear inside the palace isn't that Sarah will fabricate, it's that she will speak too freely. But the silence that followed changed everything.
Yes, well, I mean, I think you probably skipped to the Middle East before that happens. But yeah, this is bad news for him. I mean, I never expected this to happen. I mean, the Trump administration have fought for years to suppress this material. They can see that for its sort of voting base.
If Sarah Ferguson goes through with this interview, the consequences will be catastrophic. For Andrew, it risks reopening every wound he has tried to close. The Epstein connections, the allegations, the contradictions in his BBC Newsnight interview. For the palace, it risks a fresh crisis at a time when they are trying to bury Andrew's scandals permanently. For Sarah, it's a gamble. She may reposition herself as misunderstood rather than complicit. She may portray herself as naive, out of the loop, taken advantage of. But the media will probe. They will challenge every answer. And the palace cannot control the narrative once she sits down in front of American cameras. Because unlike Andrew's Newsnight disaster, this time, the interviewer will be paid to push harder. Sarah Ferguson is weighing multiple six-figure offers from American broadcasters. The palace is quietly unnerved. Andrew is reportedly demanding she stay away, and the public is waiting to see if she will finally speak. This is not a light-hearted chat. This is a moment that could shift public perception, reopen long-buried questions, and place Buckingham Palace on high alert. Because if Fergie goes ahead with this tell-all, she will be pressed on every shadowed corner of Andrew's past. And yet, silence remains the most unsettling answer of all. After everything you've heard, which part shocked you the most and why? Stay tuned, because the next royal file may be even darker than this one.